So in last week's video, we had a bit of a discussion just about, I guess, the capabilities of what you can do with a smartphone compared to, if you wanted to use a DSLR instead. And, in the end of the video, we did get to the conclusion that with a smartphone, you can pretty much do nearly everything that a DSLR can do. And obviously, depending on your situation, you might find that a smartphone might just do exactly what you need compared to going out and buying a DSLR. And there was a section in that video where we were talking about what's already built into your smartphone, and one of the things I did mention was video stabilization. So basically you'll be somewhere and maybe you see something that catches your eye and you want to record that, but you don't have maybe you don't have a DSLR with you and you just have your phone, and basically you want to record it and you want to get some nice smooth footage of it. With the video stabilization, generally you can get some pretty smooth footage of whatever it is, and we're going to be testing that out today, because I don't know if I did say in last week's video, I might have done, but yeah, I haven't really used the video stabilization on a phone really, because generally I just use a DSLR. So you know what, this week's video will even be quite interesting for me also, because I don't know what I'm going to create with this, if it'll be any good, if it won't be any good, the quality of it, and even just I guess kind of the ideas that I'm gonna need to have, just because I will be making a video sequence. But one thing that I need to think about more than just making just a cool video is I need to really incorporate the video stabilization into it, because generally if I was just gonna film with this, I will have a bunch of just stationary shots for certain things, but that's not what this video is about. So I need to think about the movement I want, the movement that would really complement the object that we're going to be shooting today. I know what I was thinking, we already mentioned it last week, I might as well get it now. This thing right here, these new pack of cards I got, thinking why don't I show these off a little bit more if I can. Obviously I don't know the quality I'm going to get out of the phone with these. Hopefully it'll be quite good, but you know what, let's get started with this. Right, so here we are with our area where we're going to do most of our filming, actually well, all of our filming, because it's only this much space. I'm pretty sure that's all we need, just this much, because obviously it's not a massive product, it's just going to be there or something. And then with the phone, just some movement like this, and obviously up and down, maybe around if we can, we'll see. Again, this whole thing is about video stability, but yeah, good thing is this thing is small, so we have tons of space for movement. And to be honest, there are some other little things that will be popping up when we get into it, but just as the initial shot, the first shot, I kind of want to bring in the old deck as well, just because I guess just tie it in, be kind of nice. And I was thinking of an idea for that, and I was thinking, why don't I just use the old set as the initial base for what we're going to do. So you know what, we'll do that now, and then we'll get back to you when that's all done and we're ready to go. Okay, and we're set up for our initial shot. Nothing too fancy, it's literally just a base of the old cards, and then we've got the new one sitting on top under this light. Now, one thing to definitely take in when you are thinking about, if you are going to use this video and do something that's a bit like a product video, I guess, if you want to do something like that. Now, I've tried a couple initial things, and one thing that definitely stands out is when you are using your phones, the video section of it, there are some things that you can't really control, unlike a DSLR. The first thing that I did notice was I don't really have that much control over the exposure really. Unlike the DSLR, you can control pretty much everything. With your phone, I was trying to just get some really simple shots, just literally with the camera moving up, across, looking at it and back down. It's a really simple movement, but my main issue with that is, so I started off here, came up, it was adjusting the exposure to also lighten the background, which obviously I don't want. I want that to be completely black, and this is the main focus, but I just couldn't get that just because the phone was auto adjusting. And obviously for most things that'd be great, you'd want that. For what I want specifically, I don't want that, so that's kind of an issue. One way I tried to go around it was set the exposure first here by tapping on the pack of cards making sure this was lit up, this was dark, and then press the record button, and then really quickly get going and start before it can make any adjustments. I think I have 1 or 2 clips where it did kind of work. I don't know if it worked well, but I mean, I'll see obviously when I go into editing. But I mean, that is one thing to consider straight off the bat. If you are gonna do something like this, try and think about if you are gonna have a black background or just, you know, just a darker background, and you're thinking this could now be an issue just because you don't want to show that. I mean, one thing that I did do that kind of did help a little bit, and obviously this might not, you know, be useful to everybody, but if you have something like this kind of light and you have something that you can dim the exposure, something like this, I can go right down with it and maybe around something like that, not too bright. And obviously I've added a bit of height to this. You can see like I've extended the legs just to give me a bit more height, just so it's not hitting so hard everywhere, so it's a little bit higher. And with this setup, it actually worked a little bit better. It's still kind of a little bit, I can still, you know, the darkness I can still see a little bit, but it's not as bad as when, you know, the first initial one. So that's your first one. Now, one thing that I'm trying to use also is obviously, other than the video stabilization, which obviously this is what this video is about today, but I mean, just want to test it out as well to see if it's any good, is the slow-mo on this. Now, I'm pretty sure most smartphones nowadays will have a slow-mo feature somewhere. Generally, it might be like in the very end section, the pro section. You'll find it somewhere. And I was just trying to see if it's any good, and there's some issues with it. So the good thing is that I can select how many frames I want. So it gives me the option of 120, 240, all the way to 920, which is pretty good. You know, I get that option. However, I don't know why, and I can't even turn this feature off in my phone. So I started recording, I pressed it, and then it was a really simple idea. I just wanted to drop these cards down like that, and that was it. However, for some reason, my phone was just, it's kind of annoying because as soon as it dropped, it would stop the recording, because I don't know, it might have just seen something move. I have no clue why it's doing it. You know, I'll try and figure it out a little bit more, see if I can work out what's happening. But yeah, initially, I don't know why, whenever I do the drop, by the time it gets there, and I want there to be a bit of a movement with the cards coming out, just something like this, really smooth like that, it would have stopped the recording by itself about maybe like there. So it looks like it's a half finished clip, so, and obviously I don't want that. But yeah, I'll do a bit more experimenting and I'll see where we can go with the slow-mo. Again, this isn't about slow-mo's video, but it's just, I don't know, something that I thought we could try. Now, another thing that I'm trying to work out is, can I bypass kind of the autofocus? Because that's something that I can't really change on this when you're in the video stabilization mode. And it's getting kind of annoying because obviously I'll start from, let's say from here, and let's say I want to go around these cards somehow, just like something as simple as this. I can't do it because it keeps changing the focus on, I mean, just honestly anything that pops up. It could be this leg, if it accidentally gets in the frame, it could go back and forward between cards, so that's getting a bit annoying. I mean, one thing that I'm kind of doing, and it's working kind of well, is, I mean, as long as I just angle it a little bit just off of, because as you can see, this is where the lens is, it's on this top side. If I don't use the bottom side, you can see down here, I flip it and it's higher, go across like this, that does it a little bit better, and it doesn't cut out as much. I think it did it once or twice in one of my shots, but generally that's working out a little bit better. So I guess that's one workaway around it. Just again, real slowly as well. Try not to do it too fast because then your phone really will just go crazy with it. So yeah, really slowly, I'm just moving it back and forward like this, like that, and obviously the other way. Obviously when I'm going this way, I have no choice but to have the lens on the bottom. So just as a, I mean, it's not really a hack, but my fingers are here just to keep it off of the ground. And then when I'm moving around, I have kind of an inkling, just kind of, I guess just a light guess that I know that this is kind of high. And again, the smoother and slower I move it, the better the video stabilization should do. Because I mean, honestly, it's doing an okay job already. Again, it's these little things with the phone itself, well, more I guess the software in the phone, where it's kind of ruining some of my shots. The actual video stabilization itself, as you know, as the button when you press it, it's actually working pretty well. A lot of the shots, they're coming out pretty nicely. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there was one earlier I did where, again, it was all scattered, and all I did was move the phone up around the deck of cards and then back down. It was actually a pretty simple move, but if I didn't have the video stabilization on, it would have been such a train wreck of a shot. I would literally just gone up, around like this, and then down. Yeah, it wouldn't have looked good at all. So, I mean, you might have noticed I'm complaining about a lot of things in this video so far, but I should say that the video stabilization is actually pretty good when it works. And it works, I shouldn't say when it works pretty well. It's just these little things like the exposure that I can't set, the lighting kind of ruins it a little bit, and yeah, the autofocus kind of kicks in when you don't want it to. But again, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if what I'm using it for is what it was built for, because obviously I assume you'd use the video stabilization outside for something that, you know, it won't be anything like this, I don't imagine, you know, like a product shot. I can't see it being for that reason anyway. But yeah, I feel like honestly capturing, like, you know, the moment of if you're with your family or something, with some friends, you're somewhere, it will do a really good job with that. But yeah, I just feel like for this specific thing, it's not working too well, but it's working well enough to a degree. Also, one thing that I'm trying to do is see how well the video stabilization works when you're doing a bit more with the camera than just moving it around. I'm trying to see how well it works when you're spinning it as well, turning it, which is what this one shot I'm doing is literally just from here, pick a specific card. I'm just using the Joker for the moment, and then just focus on that, and then from here just spin it, so like that. I mean, I'll admit it is kind of my fault for some of these shots because I keep bumping into this. That is more my fault than the shot and the phone's fault. But I mean, it doesn't work amazingly, but it might work just well enough. Obviously right now I'm giving you a demonstration with this plugged in. Obviously you won't have it plugged in, and it's kind of knocking at the moment, but something like this, you start off here, slow spin and back out, kind of works all right. But again, one thing with this setup is I'm going to do kind of go over, can you see, a bit of shadowing. So I mean, one pretty simple way to get around that is, depending on what your shot is, so let's say I want this card, I want that card to be the focus. Instead of being like this, I'm like, you know, over it, I would start kind of away from it, and you can see yourself where your shadow starts and ends. Like right here, the shadow, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see the shadow is right here and it's on the edge. All I gotta do, maybe just back a bit, maybe just tilt it forward and backwards, and then you have your shot, and you should move whichever way you want. So it's little things like that where, yeah, the phone does have its own features that you want to exploit, like the video stabilization, but there are some things that you need to do yourself just to get a better shot and just get something that looks a little bit nicer. Alright, and that is this week's video. And you know what, I think it went okay. It went alright considering, you know, we've never used a video stabilization feature on a smartphone before. And obviously there was like, yeah, there were some little things that kept popping up, you know, things like the exposure, the lighting kind of thing, and the fact that you don't get that much control compared to obviously like a DSLR. And it is one of the things where if you can think of a way around, you know, the issues we had today, then maybe, you know, that's another plus for, you know, using a smartphone instead of, you know, going out and getting a DSLR. But anyway, that's the video. I still think these cards are pretty cool. I'm gonna just throw them on the bed, but I mean they're so good. These cards are so nice. I mean, look, even with that thing still, where like if you just move them back and forward, like kind of slidey. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been told that shows good quality cards. So you know what? That's nice. All that's nice. Put them back kind of neatly. But while I do this, I'll say thank you for watching the video. Hope you did like the video as well. If you did, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you in next week's video.